Hey guys, welcome back to my Final Fantasy VII solo characters game playthrough. This is the fight you've all been waiting for, I think, maybe. At least it was the fight I was waiting for. And it's Jenova herself. And this one was kind of a doozy. Yeah, it actually was. There was a specific part that was kind of a doozy. So let's get right into it. Let's check out my build here. Don't mind that Cloud has anything. What was I looking at Bear for? So I'm using Tifa during this fight, and I think it's possible to do this with Aerith. There is a specific section that might be like super complicated, I think it is, for her. And it was kind of even the phase that was even complicated for Tifa as well. I wiped on there several times, I think, and I think if anybody's done like the hard mode Jenova fight, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Cloud would breeze right through that because he's got triple slash. So, but for the other two characters, that section is kind of a pain in the padded ass. At least for me it was. So there was something that I specifically ended up doing, or I had to figure out in order to survive it. It's not like there's a one-shot kill or anything like that, like you're just gonna die. It's just that a lot of damage can get thrown at you really, really quickly. So I guess you could say there's a one-shot kill in there if you get hit by too many of the tentacles that come up in the second phase. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm being generally vague about it, but like, anyways, let's talk about this cutscene here for a little bit. I know a lot of. Didn't they spoil this bit? Where Barrett gets stabbed? Didn't they spoil this in one of the trailers? I feel like they did. I want to say they did. They spoiled they spoiled a bit of stuff in the Final Fantasy VII Remake like launch trailers. I unfortunately ended up watching it, so it kind of took away the punch of some of the big things that happened. But I'm trying to remember whether or not like they showed Barrett getting stabbed here. And I know a lot of people probably were upset about that. They're like, why would they do that? You know, why show Barrett getting killed here if they were just going to immediately like revive him? Sorry if I'm spoiling it for you, but I'm pretty sure anybody who's watching this has probably already played the game already. If not, ignore me. But like, I don't know. I kind of like to think that there was a reason they did this. You know, I guess to show it almost seemed like they were really trying to hammer home the fact that the ghosts were here to basically keep the party on a set path. You know what I mean? And like showing, because a lot of it, you know, obviously this game is for new fans and for old fans of the original game, right? You know, for new people, they're gonna be like, okay, but like OG fans are gonna be like, what the hell? You know, I don't know. To me, it feels like they deliberately did this to show that it's like, oh, events are wanting events are trying to be different, but there's these plot ghosts that are trying to keep everything on like this you know, the center narrow path, basically keeping everything in line with the OG. They want everything to play out exactly how that game went, you know? And I think, I don't know, my thoughts on it is that Rebirth is really going to kind of like, I guess, drive that nail down. Like, we're really going to get the answer to that question, I think, in Rebirth. And I almost have this feeling that the third game is going to go wildly different. Maybe wildly is not the right word, but I feel like it's going to go pretty differently than it did in the OG. I think they might keep the events the same, but I think how it's going to play out is going to be very different because I think Rebirth is going like something's going to happen in Rebirth where you're basically going to learn you know, it's gonna drive home what was really going on. Like maybe we'll learn about these ghosts. Maybe we'll learn why they're there. Maybe we'll get the real answer to them. You know what I mean? But a lot of theories are is that you know they're just here to keep the OG timeline intact. You know, and Sephiroth is basically Advent Children Sephiroth, and he's back in time. He knows too much and stuff. He's trying to change the events, you know. And Aerith, I think, has like a little bit of awareness, but she's not fully aware of the big picture, you know. She's not fully aware of everything. She knows enough to basically be like, this guy is bad news. Sephiroth is bad news. You know what I mean? And and then there might like, and obviously for gameplay reasons, they had Barrett get stabbed so they can take him out of the fight, basically. You know what I mean? So they're just like, yeah, these are the 3 characters we're going to use in the fight. Let's get Barrett out of there somehow, you know. I don't know if they necessarily needed to kill him for that. I guess kill him, in quotes. But you could have just had, like, Sephiroth just punt kick him halfway across the hallway. I don't know, maybe some people might not believe that. They're like, dude, Barrett's huge. How could Sephiroth kick him around like that, you know? Anyways, enough talking about the story. Let's talk about the gameplay now, since we're in the fight. Do the same thing we do all the time. Get our refocus going on. Oh, just one more thing. I really like theory crafting. It's kind of nice. The theory crafting this story is pretty awesome. I just had to say that. Anyways, so you saw that little puddle that Jenova summoned that basically kind of follows around your character. If you get hit with it, you get hit with stop. That's not fun. We don't really want that. Fortunately, the stop is not very long, so you're not stuck there for ages, but it's enough for you to get hit. And that's not, it's enough for you to take a nice little hit, and you don't really want that. So, obviously avoid those. And, so this bit's not difficult at all. I think this part's free, I feel like. The only thing you really gotta worry about is I think it casts Vengeance. I think it does. No. Not this phase. I think once you move on to the next one, she starts to cast Vengeance at certain points, which you'll know when she does it because she Jenova like sits still or something like that, and if you hit her, she's gonna summon like this light blade or something that cuts straight down. That you can dodge. I've dodged it plenty of times, but if it hits you, it does like pretty good damage. And obviously when you take out the tentacles, she's gonna do reconstruction. She'll re-summon them back after a little while. But like I say, this first phase is kind of free. I think it's just, she sits still. Yeah, once you do this enough damage, she'll do this roar or something like that. So it's kind of like, it's kind of telling you you're transitioning into the next phase. And Jenova, I think, has 4 phases altogether. I'm pretty sure of it, because like this first one equals, yeah, see, you saw Vengeance. Okay, so Vengeance was different than the move that I thought. Vengeance is this is the move. That is the move you need to worry about. Vengeance. That thing hits like a truck. When you see her doing this, it's like they're tempting you. It's tempting you to hit her. She's like, oh, she's pressured. Lay on the juice, right? When you hit her like that, that's when she's gonna do that light blade like that. It's kind of like a little tease to bait you into it. You can do it. You can hit her, and then if you're confident in your ability to dodge the attack, go for it. And you saw what I did there with the Vengeance, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. That Vengeance ability was probably the biggest pain in this fight. When you get hit with that thing, it hurts, as you saw. Damn near killed me. It's actually killed me several times. So, you saw what I was doing there. There's a few ways you can dodge it. You can just sit there and parry slide with Tifa, or you can hide behind the pillars. Which, that's a good strat to use for any of the other characters. If you happen to be using Cloud or Aerith, you can just go run behind the pillar, and she'll shoot it. And there you go. You can use it as cover. It's quite nice. I like that. So, I kind of like having a strat available, not just for one character, but for all of them. But like Tifa does have the ability to basically do the parry slide, and you can parry it. Sometimes you might get hit by it. I suppose if you're spamming it, I guess you gotta time it just a little bit. And Yeah. So the thing that I was talking about in the next phase, which is actually coming up here pretty soon, the big phase, the one that really like messed me up. Yeah, rejection. Okay. So when you see her do rejection, that's when you don't want to hit her, because she's gonna do the light sword ability. But I think she's immune too, because you can see Aerith hitting her and she's getting immune procs. So it's kind of a tease there. But like, anyways, yeah. So more about vengeance. So the next phase that comes up is she's gonna start summoning tentacles out of the ground. And if you're using Cloud, it's easy. Just triple slash all over the place and you'll destroy them, really. And you probably don't even ever have to worry about the tentacles. But say with Aerith and Tifa, this is where things get a little bit complicated, I guess you can say. So, since Tifa doesn't have like, Tifa doesn't have like the ability to basically have a super AoE. Anyways, another sidetrack real quick. You saw what I did there. I cast poison on her. Jenova is weak to poison. Definitely use this. Use poison. This will help you immensely in this phase. Hit her with bio. Just throw that bitch out there and you're good to go, and then you don't have to worry about it. It'll tick probably through this whole phase if you're fast enough. So I've used haste on her as well, and you've seen what I'm doing here. I do like 1 to 2 hits. Actually, I didn't even do that. I just used True Strike. And I only punched in case I needed the ATB. So, with Aerith and Tifa, their lack of AoE attacks to basically kill the tentacles quickly, this is going to make it complicated. So anyways, at some point, they're going to do this thing where the tip of the tentacles are going to light up with like almost like a little laser pointer, almost. And you're going to start seeing it now. Yeah, you're seeing them starting to kind of work their way to doing that. And so what's going to happen next is they're all going to cast vengeance on different targets. Okay, so they may go after, you may have more of them attacking your teammates. I got frozen here. I was like, oh no, this is bad, because you want to try to take out as many of these tentacles as you can. Yeah, you can see them lighting up like that, and they start to point towards the character, so you know they're going to start hitting them. And I'm like, oh no. I'm so dead. So, you saw that. They all shot vengeance at you. And as I said earlier, that attack is mean. And I blocked it. Okay? So I was prepared for it. So, I didn't realize that you could do that. So at first, I'm sitting there trying to run away, avoid it, and I would just die. And I'm like, what the freak, man? Like, what the hell? Like, this is a pain in the ass. It's ridiculous. I would die every single time at that part. And I was just like, dude, no. Obviously HP up would help, but I'm not doing that. So I tried that. So I just said, out of the blue, I just said, here, let's try blocking it. Sounds like the easiest thing to do, right? It sounds like the easiest thing to do. Oh, wait. We're going to wait for the badass music here. Man, I love that song. Anyways, I had to let it rock for a little while. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, like, yeah, you would think blocking would have been the most obvious answer to do. So go ahead and block that when you feel like they're just ready to fire. And I took way less damage during that phase, so it helped me immensely. So as soon as I started doing that, the rest of the fight kind of went easier. And you saw at one point where she does this thing called Morning Wail. Get out of the way, because she's going to shoot this whole aura around her. I don't know if you were paying attention to any of the attacks, or if you were just headbanging to that jam. I can't wait to see what more they do with some of the other tracks that aren't in this game in Rebirth. Cannot wait. But yeah, like, this fight's awesome. It's like one of my favorite fights, one of my favorite songs in the game. Yeah, poison really helps. Poison definitely really helps. And then, like, I think once you get past that tentacle phase, the rest of the fight kind of goes pretty well, I think. She does a little bit of new things. You can see her shooting out these weird, like, those weird orbs there. And yeah, she still does the same thing with the stop and whatever, the reconstruction. She still does Morning Wail. I think she stopped doing Vengeance at that point, and we're about to win the fight here. Oh, nope. I forgot about that. I was trying to end it with the limit break, and she she was like one shot. And she, like, that's happened to me several times, where I'm like trying to get a limit break finish and then just whiff it, and it's like, oh man, that's embarrassing. Try to get a swag finish, didn't work out that way. Sephiroth and his smug face. But yeah, like, overall, yeah, other than that tentacle phase, I think this fight goes pretty smoothly. There's not really too much to worry about. Like, the Vengeance attack is the kind of the big one to worry about. And she does cast fire on it, but I did mitigate that with, I believe, I put elemental fire on Tifa. So if she does cast fire, let her hit you with it. You can get free heals. It's kind of nice. You know, there's a flip side to that. So it's kind of nice using that strat, not just attacking. I know Cloud was like, Barrett's dead, man. He's like, what an asshole, dude. He doesn't even check on the body. He's like, I'm gonna run this way, and then realizes Barrett's still alive, and he stops immediately. But yeah, we're almost at the end stretch, and I'm still thinking whether or not what I'm gonna do with Intergrade, because Intergrade you're just playing Yuffie the whole time anyways, and I don't know if you can solo it without Sonin. I'm not sure. Could try it, but yeah, we'll talk about that at a little later date. But I'm gonna end this video off here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.